Hi, my name's Jordan, and this is my week 8 submission, which is about the research topic. My topic is the Chernobyl disaster, which was a nuclear accident that took place in April 1986. It occurred over a span of a few days in a place located in the Soviet Union, and it affected the nuclear disaster caused a wide range of effects to the surrounding area and the workers that were in the nuclear plant. So they all had to leave the area. And there's many movies made about it where you can kind of get an idea of what happened and how the area is now, like the Chernobyl Diaries. But a reactor was messed up, and that's what caused the high levels of like nuclear power to be in the air. The smaller subject that I'm covering within this disaster is the medical effects and mental effects that it had, especially on people that were closer to the disaster, including workers, and also how people are still affected today in terms of mental and medical health and what the area looks like nowadays, because there's basically nobody in the area, and there's research about like the animals in the area and how, although there was once like mutations in the animals after the event first happened, now a lot of the animal populations are thriving due to lack of people in the area. The most effective search terms that brought up the best results for my topic was obviously the Chernobyl accident, and I also looked for current reports, mental health, and the effects, and that pretty much brought up different results about the workers and how they were affected at different points, and workers that were there prior to the accident and during the accident. I also found many reports that were from people from the Soviet Union that had moved to the US, that now it was easier to observe the effects in terms of medical and mental health. So those terms pretty much brought up a good amount of results for me. Tips for other students, I would say to just really try to narrow it down as much as possible so you do get better results, because just looking at the broad topic is going to bring up a lot of results depending on what your subject is. But by adding other terms below, it kind of narrows it down and brings up less, so you have a better range to look at. Moving on from that, the 5 references that I chose were, all of them were journals. The first one is Surviving Chernobyl in America, Physical and Mental Health Needs of Recent FSU, which is former Soviet Union, Immigrants to the United States, which is from the Journal of Immigrant and Refugee Studies. The next one is Psychological Status of the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant Operators After the Nuclear Disaster, and this is what discussed the workers. That's from Journal of Traumatic Stress. Then I had the Mental Health Effects of the Chernobyl Disaster Live On, which addressed the current conditions of the survivors. Then I have a Technical Error, Measures of Life After Chernobyl. And that's from Social Identities, and that again just discusses how people went on to live after the disaster. And the last one is Trauma Management, Chernobyl in Belarus and Ukraine, because that's like the surrounding areas. And that's from British Journal of Sociology. So those are my scholarly articles that I found for my research topic. And for the last question, what questions do you have for librarians? What is still confusing? I would just say, like, what would you recommend using as terms to better find more specific articles? Because when I was using those terms, some articles were completely irrelevant to my topic. And something that's still confusing is just making sure that you can eliminate those random articles that have nothing to do with your topic, if there's any way to do that. So that's all. Thank you.